Welcome to Davos Technology. If you are passionate about cybersecurity, threat detection, and log analysis, you are in the right place. This channel is dedicated to equipping you with hands-on skill in security technologies, helping you build a strong foundation in monitoring, detection, and response. Whether you are an aspiring security analyst or an IT professional looking to level up your expertise, we've got you covered with practical step-by-step tutorial. In today's tutorial, we are diving into Wazuh, an open source security monitoring platform used for security, information, and event management, threats detection, compliance, and vulnerability assessment. Wazuh provides powerful capabilities for log analysis, endpoint security, and real-time threat intelligence, making it tool for cybersecurity professionals. But before deploying it in enterprise environment, it is crucial to set up a home lab where we can safely experiment, test, and understand its functionalities. That is exactly what we'll be doing in this session. These are the things we will need for this lab: a basic understanding of Linux commands and system administration environment, either VMware or VirtualBox, or a cloud-based setup. You will need Windows Server, either 2019, 2022, or even Windows 10 or Windows 11. Then you also need the willingness to learn and experiment. By the end of this video, I assure you that you will have a fully functional Wazuh setup running in your home lab, allowing you to explore security monitoring capabilities firsthand. Before we proceed, in the description box, I'll provide the step-by-step guide so that you can replicate the process at your own convenience. Please like, share, and subscribe to our previous videos, and let's get started with Wazuh installation. In your Ubuntu, launch a terminal. The first step, having open terminal, log in as super user using this command, sudo su. You press enter. Put in your administrator password. The next step in the process is that you will need to have JDK installed. To do this, in the Ubuntu terminal, you run the following command: sudo pt space install space default press enter. The next stage is to install curl. You run the following command in your terminal to install the curl: sudo pt update. This will ensure your system is up to date. Press enter. Having done this, run sudo apt install curl. This will install curl in your system. Press enter. After this, you may need to verify that the curl installed is correctly working. To do this, you put in the command curl space version. This will give you the version of curl that you have installed. This shows URL specified. No problem about this. You just put in curl --. Here we have the version of curl we have installed. So the next step is to run the command below: curl space small s o. Then you put in the website, you paste. To enable copy and paste, we have a video for that on how to enable you to do copy and paste in any Linux machine. Paste. Then you press enter. The next stage is to run the following command: backspace Wazuh install space -a. Press enter. This process will take some time, and in the command which we have just typed, I want you to know that the command is a modification. Instead of using a, in some instances you have Wazuh server space Wazuh -1, but we have modified it so that you won't need to reboot the machine to get the system working. That was why we used a in the last command. This process will take some time. You will need to be patient because it has to install some essentials. The process will take about 20 minutes to complete, so you can just leave it for some time and ensure the process runs through. The Wazuh Manager installation has started. You can see it here, starting the Wazuh Manager installation. We still need to give it some time. Now, Wazuh has been successfully installed. We need to take note of some important things here. First is the user and the password for the admin. You ensure you copy this and keep it securely somewhere so that you'll be able to make use of it when you want to log in. to Wazuh. Then another one is this information. You will need this information, which I've just highlighted, the Wazuh indexer. You will need it when you want to make some changes, which may require the path. Copy this path and keep it securely so that you will not forget. Now, the next stage is to check the IP address of our Wazuh machine. That is the IP address of the Linux machine where we installed. So you press IP ADDR. This is the IP address. You copy that as well and keep it. Now, to open a browser, either in your Linux machine or any other machine in the same domain, that is on the same network, you now put it in this form, HTTPS, the IP address, and you know Wazuh is running on port 443. So you now press enter. It will show this page warning you of potential security risk. You click advanced. In the space below, you also accept the risk and continue. This will launch Wazuh server. You can see that Wazuh has been successfully installed. Then don't forget that our user, which we copy before, is admin. You put admin, and the password which you saved somewhere before, you now paste that password here. You click login. You may save it, you may not save it, but for ease of use, I want to save it. You can see has been successfully installed. Not only in this, you can go to any machine on the same network and you will see that you can access the same Wazuh. I have Windows Server 2025 here. You can deploy your and open on any browser within the network. So let me launch the Microsoft Edge in my Windows Server 2025. I will now paste the URL of my Wazuh here. Before we go, I want to remind you that link to the step-by-step guide is in the description box for your use. So you can follow it step by step so as to get the same result. Now, I want to show you how we can deploy the Wazuh which we installed on Linux, how we can deploy it on Windows Server or Windows 10 machine or Windows 11, anything Windows machine. First, I will want you to know that we can access the same which we installed in Ubuntu Linux in this Windows Server 2025. You will notice that it's showing the connection isn't private. Click continue to unset. You can see, despite the fact that we installed the Wazuh on Ubuntu Linux, any machine, on the same network, we can use the URL of Wazuh to access it. You just put in the username, admin, Ubuntu Linux. We are now in Windows Server 2025. I want to access the same interface. I want to access the same dashboard here. You will see it's coming up and you will compare and see that it's still the same which we installed or that we access on Windows Server 2025 machine, the same dashboard. This one is reading 17, but it's the same dashboard. Even if you access it on Windows 10, you'll still see that we can still access what we installed on Ubuntu Linux on Windows machine. I'm now on Windows 10 and we are accessing the same which we installed on Ubuntu Linux. The importance of this is that we can access the same Wazuh on different Mac within the organization. So once you install on Linux, you can access it on Windows. But in this case, we have not deployed the agent on Windows Server or Windows 10 or Ubuntu Linux machine. If 10 people are using Windows 10, they will still be able to access it because it's the same URL. As long as you are using the browser within your organization and it's on the same network, you can access the dashboard. That is the deployment. We have been able to deploy on Ubuntu Linux and we have been able to access the same dashboard on different machines. That is the importance of this. But we can see something here that there is no agent that has been added. You can see the agents. Now I want to bring on board different machines into this server. Let's open our Wazuh here. We can open it anywhere. It doesn't matter. You go to this ribbon, you click it open, you expand it. Under the menu, expand server management. So you can create endpoint group by clicking endpoint group. You may need to create another endpoint or you leave it as default. You can group the different endpoints create the name for another endpoint group, and you will see how that is important. Let's create an endpoint group now. You can see now it has updated to 17, 17, 17. The dashboard is the same across different machines within the organization. You can see here that no agent has been had. These are the agents we want to add. Windows Server 2025 tutorial will be adding Windows Server 2025 and Windows 10 machine. So let's open this ribbon and expand Server Manager. To create another endpoint group, you can add new group, introduce the group. You can put endpoint 1, just a name to differentiate it from the default. You save the name. So we have the endpoint group here. What are endpoint groups? Endpoint groups are logical collection of endpoints, such as virtual machines, servers, or applications that share common security and policy requirements. They are used primarily in software-defined networking and network security models to simplify policy management and enforce security rules. Come under Server Manager again. Endpoint summary. What we are trying to do is to add agents. To deploy new agent, click deploy new agent here. These are the machines we want to add for 2025 and Windows 10. Those are the agents we want to add. Select Windows. That is the operating system that the agent want to add are using. Put the IP address of your Wazuh machine here. You can click remember server. Now, which agent do we want to use? You can put Win Server 25. This is the agents we want to have. Then select one or more existing groups. You know, we created a group before, which we named endpoint 1, and we had the default group. We want to select endpoint 1 as the place we want to add agent. That would be the group we want to add the Windows machine. That is the Windows Server 2025. Copy this command as it pops up. You keep it somewhere. You keep it safe. Copy it. Once you press it, the command has been copied. Then you keep it safe. The best way to save it, you may come here on the browser here. You keep it there. It's safe there. Now, there is another thing you need to keep safe as well. Scroll down, start the agent. You copy this command and you keep it safe somewhere. You may put it in a notepad because you will need it to add your agent. So let's go to our Windows Server now. We are now in our Windows Server. You run PowerShell. You can search PowerShell in your Windows Server 2025. This is Windows PowerShell. You run either by clicking here and clicking Run as Administrator, or you run it from here. I want to run my PowerShell in Windows Server as Administrator. Now, the PowerShell has opened. Remember, we copied this command to be installed on the agent and we kept it here. Let me now copy it from here. I'll go to my Windows machine and click, and you can see it's writing the web request. It has completed that process. Now, you see, the start the agent, which we have here, we'll copy the command and paste it here as well. Let me, the command, you paste it, then you click end. The Wazuh service is starting, and the Wazuh service was started successfully. You need to confirm searching for services on your Windows machine to see whether Wazuh service is running on your Windows machine now. To see whether Wazuh service is running on your Windows machine, look for services. These are the services that are running on Windows Server 2025, which we want to add. Let's look for Wazuh here. You can see we have Wazuh stopping. You can restart the service. The service needs to be running for it to be deployed as agent on Wazuh. So now let's go to our Wazuh machine. Click this W here. You will see where agent has been added or not. You can see it's now active. That is, Windows Server 2025 has been added. Let's look at the agent that was added. You will see it. Let's confirm the agent so that you see that we have our Windows Server 2025 added. You can see the first agent, which is ID 001, Win Server 2025. That's the name we gave it. The IP address of the Windows Server, the operating system, it has been added. Now, let's add another machine, which is Windows 10, as another agent to ours, which is a site. Then let's add another agent, which is Windows 10. Open the ribbon here, go to Server Manager, click Endpoint, so click Deploy New Agent. Windows 10 is the machine you want to add. You select Windows. Name of the agent, I want to add Windows. There shouldn't be space, so let me add Windows 10. there's no space. The existing endpoint group, that's the endpoint which I created to add it to the endpoint group of Windows Server. So I've added it to endpoint 1. I'll copy this. You will know that this is changing. This has changed to Windows 10, not Windows 2025, which I did earlier. You keep this safe somewhere. Keep it. Then you go to Windows 10 machine. In your Windows 10 machine, you open PowerShell as an administrator. Run as an administrator. You can right click and run as administrator, or you run from here. So, but run it as an administrator. Click yes. This is our PowerShell in Windows 10 machine. Now you come here and copy what you copied from here. Run the following command to download and install the agent. This is the command that we kept here. You copy this command and you come to your Windows 10 and paste. Press the web request on Windows 10. You need to be careful with this because if you run it twice, it will show that one has already been run. Type it. You type this command is what we got from here, from the Wazuh start. This is the command is here now. We have pasted the command here. Then you click and the Wazuh service was started successfully. Now go to services under Windows 10 machine, which is the agent you want to Wazuh. You scroll down to see that it is running. This one is running. You go back to your Linux machine where you originally installed Wazuh. You will see it there that another agent has been added. Let's wait for it to come up. It's loading. See, Wazuh is loading so that you will see that we have deployed 2 agents on our machine. Go to this W, you click this W, wait for it. You can see it's still working. We have 2 active agents successfully deployed on. So this is the second Windows 10 machine which you have deployed. So anything you are doing on Windows Server 2025 will be reading of. You can deploy another agent and on and on. Whatsoever your activity, let's refresh this so that you see that even on the dashboard here in Windows Server 2025, what we did using Ubuntu Linux as reflected. Any of your security personnel who is in charge of work can actually access the Wazuh dashboard on their machine. You can see we have 2 active agents like we have on any of the dashboards of the different machines. We have 2 agents, medium severity 10, low severity 17. On Windows Server, we have been able to install Wazuh and deploy. Congratulations on setting up Wazuh in your home lab. You've now got a powerful tool to monitor your systems, detect threats, and ensure compliance, all at your fingertips. This hands-on experience is a fantastic way to deepen your understanding of cybersecurity and prepare for a real-world scenario. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for